Hello and good afternoon. My name is Saros Gautam. Today I am presenting a numerical investigation on the effects of leakage flow from guide vane clearance gaps in low specific speed Francis turbines. My supervisors are Professor Hari Prasad Nepani, Dr. Biraj Singh Thapa, and Dr. Sajesh Chitrakar from Turbine Testing Lab, Kathmandu University, and Professor Chu Baosan from Tsinghua University. Now let me begin with the presentation. These are the outlines that I am going to present in today's presentation. Now let me begin with the introduction. This study uses a typical high-head Francis turbine. A Francis turbine consists of a spiral casing, stay vanes, guide vanes, runner, and a draft tube. Out of this, runner is a rotating component and all the other components are the stationary component. As the main purpose of this study is to investigate the leakage flow from the guide vane clearance gap to the performance of the runner, let me discuss in more detail about the guide vane and the leakage flow. As we all know, guide vanes are the important part of the Francis turbine that contributes to the conversion of total available hydraulic energy partly into acceleration energy. Flow while entering the guide vane experiences accelerated flow. These high velocities of the fluid flow leaving guide vane enters runner at a designed angle. This imparts rotational kinetic energy to the runner blades and leave the runner domain from the draft tube. This is how a typical Francis turbine works. However, to make it capable for entering the fluid to the desired amount during different load variations, guide vane can freely rotate from its axis. This allowance for guide vane rotation is possible due to the clearance gap in between the guide vane surface and the facing plate. During no operation of the Francis turbine, the available gap between guide vane surface and facing plate is minimum, which is also called as dry clearance. However, the size of the clearance gap increases due to the hydrostatic pressure between guide vane and the facing plate. And this is the reason where the clearance gap in the guide vane lies. And clearance gap between the guide vane and facing plate gives rise to the leakage flow. Now let me discuss in more detail about the development of the leakage flow and its consequences due to the sediment content leakage flow. When water enters the guide vane leading edge, the flow is divided into two adjacent guide vane surfaces. One surface is located at a higher radius from the center of the turbine and the other is located to the smaller radius as shown in the figure. The difference in radius of the fluid flowing domain differentiates these sides to be as pressure side and suction side. Hence, the pressure difference is created in between these sides which tend to pull water towards the suction side. This will result to the cross leakage flow from the clearance gap. The things that I talked about was for the clean water condition. However, in a hydropower plant such as in Nepal, not only the clean water but also sediment flows along with the clean water. The size of the sediment particle is usually 100 to 150 micron, which can easily enter into the clearance gap, and the sediment while entering the clearance gap region can erode the surface of the clearance gap region, that is the guide vane surface as well as the top cover or the bottom cover due to the effect of erosive wear, and also the shaft of the guide vane and the runner blade due to the abrasive wear. And this figure shows the effects of leakage flow in the efficiency of the turbine. As you can see, the increase in size of the clearance gap reduces the efficiency of the turbine by nearly about 2.5%, and the consequence can be more severe in context of the sediment content flow such as in Nepal, where the clearance gap at some locations of the turbine was reported to be around 10 mm or 20 mm. Now let me talk about mesh and the numerical model. For this study, I have used full passage modeling technique, and for this, each component of turbine is discretized by structured hexahedral mesh using commercial ANSYS ICM CFD. The complete domain consists of nearly 30 million hexahedral elements, and for the grid scaling test, I have used GCI technique. For this, three different meshes were created as coarse, medium, and fine. For the fine grid, the error in the fine grid from medium grid to fine grid was less than 1%, while the error was measured for efficiency, head, and the torque value. And for the overall study, the fine mesh with 30 million hexahedral elements were used. This figure shows the numerical model I have used for overall study. The domain includes spiral casing, stay vanes, guide vanes with leakage, runner, and draft tube. Inlet of the spiral casing was extended by 10 times the diameter of the spiral casing so as to achieve the uniform flow towards the inlet. An opening type boundary condition was prescribed at the outlet of the draft tube with 0 Pascal static pressure, thus allowing recirculating flow at the draft tube outlet. At the inlet, mass flow rate of 2350 kg per second, normal to the spiral casing inlet, was used. All the walls such as spiral casing, stay vanes, guide vanes, runner blades, and draft tube walls were specified with no slip boundary condition. At the inlet, 5% turbulence intensity was used, and for this study, a shear stress transport model was used as a turbulence model. Now let me talk about the results and discussion from the turbine simulation. As I already told, the leakage flow develops when the flow enters to the clearance gap region and leaves the clearance gap. The leakage flow, while leaving the clearance gap, mixes with the main flow flowing in between the guide vane channel. This flow propagates in the stationary domain as shown in the figure, and these vortices can eventually reach the rotating runner, thus influencing the pressure oscillation in the runner. The effects of leakage vortex on the pressure oscillation was studied by using the alternative clearance gap method. By this study, the Fourier transform pressure pulsations were separated from the RSI frequency. As you can see, the frequency in the highlighted region as in 200 Hz, 600 Hz, 1000 Hz were mainly due to the leakage flow. Furthermore, the head and the torque variation were also studied during the runner rotation. As you can see, the fluctuations in the torque and the head values are mainly due to the rotor-stator interaction in between the guide vanes and the runner. The fluctuations may also be due to the leakage vortex traveling from the guide vane clearance gap. Now let me discuss in more detail about the time-space evolution of the vortices. In the figure, the vortex pattern traveling from stationary guide vane domain towards the runner after fifth complete revolution of the runner is shown. As shown in the figure, the tip leakage vortex traveling from the guide vane clearance gaps are divided into primary leakage vortex and secondary leakage vortex. Primary leakage vortex is originated from the mid-span of the clearance gap and travels towards the rotating runner. The secondary leakage vortex is developed in the guide vane clearance gap at best efficiency point that eventually disappears before reaching the runner. At this instant, leakage patterns mainly centralizes on the primary leakage vortex. The intensity of the vortex, as shown in the figure, shows the increasing trend towards the outlet of the runner. which is due to the highest relative velocity from inlet to the outlet. Furthermore, the vortices were found to travel from the pressure side of one blade to the suction side of the other blade, but in the opposite direction to the runner rotation. In this figure, the shape of the vortex rope in the draft tube is shown, which is influenced by the leakage vortex travel from the runner vane. The vortex rope downstream of the runner is very highly affected by the flow behavior in the runner, though the design condition indicating zero swirl at the outlet of the runner was modeled for current numerical study. The high-intensity vortex was found to gradually grow up to 50% of the draft tube cone and then reduced before reaching to the draft tube elbow. 6 different planes were created from the inlet of the draft tube towards the elbow to observe the nature of swirl flow along the draft tube. The intensity of velocity swirling strength increases from up to third plane, which is at the 50% location of the draft tube cone as shown in the figure. The vortex gradually decreases and then disappears. This vortex rope is a major contributor to the low frequency pressure pulsation in the draft tube. In this study, leakage vortex traveling from the guide vane clearance gap has this significant effect in the draft tube vortex. To investigate the swirl flow in the draft tube, 9 different points were located inside the draft tube domain and monitored during the turbine simulation. In this figure, the pressure variation in the circular section at the inlet of the draft tube along with the velocity vector is shown. The pressure in this case is normalized by the maximum pressure. This variation in the pressure indicates the rotational flow along the circular section. Along 360 degrees of circular position, there are two peaks of pressure oscillation. These two peaks of highest pressure indicate the lowest velocities at the two sections. The circular section was further divided into 25 equal points. Thus, up to mid-plane, the pressure gradually increases, reaches the maximum and drops by nearly about 25%. The pressure further increases and reaches nearly 97% of the maximum pressure and reduces to the same minimum value. This variation in pressure at the circular position of inlet of the draft tube shows the swirl flow flowing from the outlet of the runner. The motion of swirl at this position is at clockwise direction corresponding to the runner rotation. In the next figure, the variation of pressure along the line at the center of the draft tube cone is shown. In this figure, 1 represents the inlet of the draft tube, whereas 0 represents the outlet. The pressure in this case is normalized by the maximum pressure. Thus, as flow enters from the inlet to the outlet, the pressure gradually increases, indicating the decelerating flow. And thus, the decelerating flow and the swirl component of the velocity forms the vortex rope in the draft tube. The primary leakage vortex and the secondary vortices in the runner are highly influenced in the flow in the draft tube. For the validation of the numerical model in this study, the experiment needs to be performed. For this, a 92 kilowatt model turbine test rig being developed at Turbine Testing Lab will be used in future for the validation of the pressure oscillations in the runner and the draft tube. Concluding the study, a full passage modeling of Francis turbine with leakage flow in guide vane domain gives close estimation of flow field in each turbine components. By using a proper numerical model, the estimation of the flow field in all components of the turbine can be done effectively. Leakage vortex develops when fluid enters the clearance gaps of guide vanes. The pressure oscillations in runner are hugely affected by the leakage flow. At the outlet of the runner, flow constituting both tangential and meridional velocity occurs which may be due to the vortices in the runner domain. And at last, the leakage vortex affects significantly to the head and torque value during the runner rotation. This is the end of the presentation. If you have any queries or suggestion regarding the presentation, please write in the comment section. Thank you once again for your very kind attention.